Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today, we're plunging into one of the most volatile, really urgent global flashpoints, Iran's nuclear program. You've sent us just an incredible collection of sources, granular reports from the International Atomic Energy Agency, sharp analyses from the Institute for Science and International Security, and a whole spectrum of news coverage, including, perspectives from former Iranian officials. Our mission today is pretty clear. We want to cut through the noise, distill the most critical developments, and really help you grasp what's truly unfolding. We're talking Iran's nuclear capabilities, the recent military strikes, and the severe erosion of international oversight. It's not just headlines, right? It's about understanding a really high-stakes situation. So as you look at these sources, what's the immediate thing, the most pressing concern that jumps out at you?
Yeah, what stands out immediately is just the sheer pace of escalation. It's fast. The core challenge, I think, is understanding the real-time status of Iran's nuclear program, and maybe more importantly, what this actually means for global stability. It's delicate. The sources, they paint a really stark picture, rapid, almost unprecedented advancements in their capabilities. And this is happening right alongside a near total collapse of the international monitoring mechanisms. All this set against a backdrop of recent, pretty significant military conflict. It's a really complex web.
Okay, let's unpack that rapid advancement then. Our sources, they consistently highlight this dramatic and frankly concerning increase in Iran's capabilities. When we talk developments, what are the absolute key numbers, the advancements that listeners really need to grasp here?
Well, the most significant red flag, the one that IAEA reports keep raising, is Iran's accumulation of highly enriched uranium, specifically enriched to 60% purity. As of mid-May 2025, their stockpile of this 60% HEU, that's highly enriched uranium, in UF6 form, it soared to 408.6 kilograms. That's uranium mass.
400 kilos.
Yeah, and to put that in perspective, it's a net increase of about 134 kilograms just since their last report. It's a huge jump. The IAEA, they've expressed serious concern, and they underscore that Iran is the only non-nuclear weapon state to produce this stuff.
Right.
This isn't just, technical detail. It's a profound shift in what they can do.
And that 60% enrichment level. Why is that so incredibly critical? What makes it such a game changer?
That's really the crux of it.
Yeah.
If you connect this to the bigger proliferation picture, 60% enriched uranium is, it's alarmingly close to weapons-grade uranium. That's usually around 90%.
Okay.
And what's crucial to understand, the technical bit, is that the jump from 60% to 90%, it's actually much easier, much faster than the whole process to get to 60% in the first place.
Really? Faster?
Oh, yeah, significantly. And Iran is currently churning out an average of 37.5 kilograms of this 60% stuff every single month.
Every month.
Every month.
Yeah.
And this level of production, especially when you're talking hundreds of kilograms, it just has no civilian use or justification. No, none. I mean, nuclear power plants, they typically use uranium enriched to maybe 3 to 5%.
Right, much lower.
Exactly. Getting to 60%, that's a deliberate strategic decision. It puts them just a short technical step away from bomb-grade material. And it definitely raises these undeniable questions about Iran's true intent, whether it's to produce large quantities of weapon-grade uranium as quickly as possible.
So, okay, if they have this much 60% HEU, what does that mean for their theoretical breakout time? The time to actually get a nuclear weapon. How fast are we talking?
Yeah, this brings up a truly unsettling reality. The formal breakout timeline, the theoretical time it would take them to produce enough weapon-grade uranium for just one nuclear device, well, it's now effectively considered zero by some analysts. Zero. Purely because of the size of their 60% HEU stock. The sources indicate Iran could take its current 60% stockpile and convert it into 233 kilograms of weapon-grade stuff. That's enough for 9 nuclear weapons.
9.
In as little as 3 weeks, primarily using the Fordow fuel enrichment plant. That's the underground one.
3 weeks for 9 weapons worth.
And even more critically, the first 25 kilograms of weapon-grade uranium, enough for one weapon, they could potentially produce that in just 2 to 3 days at Fordow.
Wow.
If they were to use both Fordow and the Natanz plant simultaneously, they could potentially produce enough for 11 nuclear weapons in the first month, maybe reaching 22 weapons by the end of month 5.
That's staggering speed.
It is. And the sources also highlight that Iran has, quote, thoroughly practiced the main steps of breakout under a civilian cover, which suggests, a pre-planned, efficient process ready to go.
That zero breakout time concept is, it's truly chilling. It paints this picture where the margin for error is just gone. Now, beyond the sheer quantity of enriched uranium, I noticed our sources also put a heavy emphasis on Iran's continuous investment in advanced centrifuges. How does that technological leap change things? What does it mean for the speed?
That's a crucial point, absolutely. And it fits right in with the stockpile issue. Iran has installed nearly 14,700 advanced centrifuges at Natanz and Fordow. That's alongside a total of roughly 21,900 centrifuges, including the older models.
Okay.
These advanced centrifuges, they dramatically boost their enrichment capacity. Their total installed capacity is around 64,000 separative work units per year. SWU, they call it.
SWU, right.
Right. And just simply put, a separative work unit is like the standard measure for the effort needed to enrich uranium. Think of it like the horsepower of an enrichment facility. So a higher SWU capacity just means they can churn out enriched uranium much, much faster. It shortens their pathway to weapon-grade material significantly, even if they started with a lower enriched stock. It's a huge investment in speed and efficiency.
Okay, so we've painted this really stark picture. Rapid advancements, lots of highly enriched uranium, better centrifuges. But these capabilities are one thing. What happens when the very system designed to watch them just falls apart?
Our sources really hammer this point about a severe breakdown in international oversight, don't they?
Indeed. That's a critical piece of this increasingly opaque puzzle. The IAEA's ability to actually verify the peaceful nature of Iran's activities. It's been seriously affected, that's their wording, and it's by Iran's deliberate actions. A key step taken last fall was Iran deciding to withdraw the designation of several experienced inspectors.
Just kicked them out. Essentially, yes, pulled their credentials. And despite repeated requests from the IAEA, Iran has just refused to reconsider this. They call it an inappropriate political act, and it directly hinders the agency's ability to do thorough, consistent inspections.
And it's not just about refusing specific inspectors, is it? It sounds like a much broader withdrawal from the agreed-upon rules.
Absolutely. A major turning point was back on February 23, 2021. That's when Iran stopped implementing the additional protocol to its safeguards agreement.
The additional protocol? Remind us what that does.
Right. So it's not just about inspectors at declared sites. The additional protocol gives the IAEA much broader powers, things like access to undeclared sites if they have questions, and access to critical info about manufacturing nuclear components, centrifuges, heavy water, that sort of thing.
Okay, so losing that is big.
Huge. By stopping it, the IAEA lost continuity of knowledge. Again, their words. They don't know the full picture of production and inventory of these crucial materials anymore, and they explicitly state this knowledge will not be possible to restore.
Can't get it back.
Nope. On top of that, Iran has removed all the IAEA equipment previously installed for surveillance, cameras, seals, everything, which has had, quote, detrimental implications for the agency's ability to provide assurance of the peaceful nature of Iran's nuclear program. The bottom line, stated right in the reports, is the IAEA cannot assure the peaceful nature of Iran's program. That's a very strong statement from the watchdog. Very rare.
Now, what's intriguing here is that Iran isn't just, like, passively resisting. They have their own accusations against the IAEA, right? Accusing them of violating confidentiality. How does that play into this?
Yeah, this raises this profound question of trust, or maybe the deliberate erosion of trust. Iran has publicly accused the IAEA of breaking confidentiality. They claim intelligence agencies got documents alleging that the Director General, Rafael Grossi, secretly collaborated with Israel and Western countries.
Wow.
Sharing locations and details of Iran's nuclear research, even names of Iranian scientists.
Whether it's true or not.
Exactly. Whether true or not, it certainly provided a rationale, or perhaps a pretext. Following these really serious allegations and the recent military actions we're about to discuss, Iran took this dramatic step. They suspended all cooperation with the IAEA, and by July 4, 2025, all inspectors had left Iran.
All of them gone.
All gone. This marks just an unprecedented level of opacity. We're basically blind now.
So, okay, against this backdrop, escalating capabilities, vanishing oversight, the serious accusations flying back and forth, then we saw significant military action in June. What specifically triggered those strikes? What actually unfolded on the ground?
Well, the situation truly hit a boiling point on June 12, 2025. That's the day the IAEA made a definitive finding. Iran was declared non-compliant with its nuclear obligations. First time in 20 years.
20 years. That's a major declaration.
Huge. It wasn't just a technical breach. It was a clear signal to the world. Iran had crossed a critical line, escalating its program beyond what oversight could tolerate. And Iran's response, instead of backing down, they doubled down, immediately announced a new enrichment site, and quickly installed even more advanced centrifuges.
So defiant.
Pure defiance.
Yeah.
It was widely seen as a direct challenge, a clear escalation right in the face of international condemnation.
And that defiance, that's what brought Israel into the picture so swiftly, right after the IAEA declaration.
Precisely. June 13th, just one day after the IAEA's non-compliance finding, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a large-scale aerial assault. Targets included critical Iranian nuclear facilities. At Natanz, for example, the above-ground pilot fuel enrichment plant was reportedly destroyed, and there were signs the underground fuel enrichment plant, the big one, the crucial one, might have been penetrated.
The underground one, that's significant.
Very. They also hit the Esfahan complex, known for uranium conversion, and the Iraq reactor, which is key for heavy water.
But then the United States also got involved, extending the military action.
Correct. Roughly a week later, June 21st, 22nd, the U.S. launched its own operation called Operation Midnight Hammer. These strikes specifically targeted 3 key sites: Fordow, Isfahan, and Natanz. And the scale was significant. They used B-2 stealth bombers and these heavy 30,000-pound bunker buster bombs, the kind designed for deeply buried targets like Fordow.
30,000-pound bombs. Okay, so what was the actual impact of these combined strikes? Our sources seem to present a really conflicting picture on how much damage was done.
Yeah, this is where the assessments really diverge quite dramatically.
Yeah.
It highlights that classic fog of war when you're trying to get intel in such a sensitive area. Yet U.S. President Donald Trump claiming the facilities were completely obliterated, that the strikes had wiped out their nuclear possibilities. Very definitive language.
Right.
But more nuanced assessments, reportedly from U.S. intelligence, suggested the airstrikes maybe only set it back by months, and crucially, did not destroy the core components of the program.
Months versus wiped out. Big difference.
Huge difference. Then you have the Israel Atomic Energy Commission. They offered a more optimistic assessment, from their point of view anyway, claiming Fordow was rendered inoperable, and the whole program set back many years.
Many years, okay.
And then Iran's foreign minister, Abbas Araki, he publicly confirmed facilities were badly damaged. He mentioned a planned enrichment site near Isfahan that was hit just as it was ready to go online. But crucially, he also emphasized Iran still has the experts' technology and equipment to restart uranium enrichment. His quote was pointed, "Buildings can be rebuilt, machines can be replaced."
So knowledge remains.
Exactly. These wildly different claims, they aren't just political spin, I don't think. They underscore this profound challenge of actually assessing the real impact of strikes like these, especially in such an opaque environment. It leaves this deep layer of uncertainty.
And adding yet another layer to that uncertainty, the Newsweek report flagged this truly alarming detail about a missing uranium stockpile.
Ah, yes, this is a key point. It really stands out, and it complicates any future verification efforts massively. The report detailed over 400 kilograms. That's nearly 900 pounds of enriched uranium.
Enriched uranium?
Yes, that Iran allegedly relocated before the U.S. military strikes hit.
Before the strikes, so they knew or suspected.
It certainly suggests foresight, yes, and its current location, completely unknown.
Wow.
This isn't just, a concerning footnote. It adds an entirely new dimension of complexity to any future attempts to verify Iran's program. Where is it? What level of enrichment? It speaks volumes about the uncertainties here.
It really does. This whole saga, the accusations against the IAEA, now this missing uranium, it makes you wonder, what does this mean for the very possibility of trust in the future? I mean, even if they struck some deal down the line, how could anyone truly verify compliance when information is so weaponized and material can just vanish?
It's a fundamental problem. The verification regime relies on a baseline of trust and transparency, and both seem shattered.
So, given this chaotic backdrop, escalating capabilities, no real oversight, military strikes with unclear results, missing material, where does Iran actually stand now? What's their stance on future talks, on the path forward? How do they see a resolution?
Well, Iran has laid out very clear and very firm conditions for even resuming talks with the United States. Foreign Minister Arachi stated quite emphatically that Tehran demands U.S. compensation for war damage from those June strikes.
Compensation first.
Compensation first, and absolutely ironclad assurances that attacks like that won't happen again. He was quoted saying they should explain why they attacked us in the middle of negotiations, and they have to ensure that they are not going to repeat that.
Okay.
Furthermore, Iran flatly rejects U.S. demands for zero enrichment. They insist they won't abandon their rights under the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, the NPT. Arachi's stance was blunt. With zero enrichment, we don't have a thing. So maintaining some enrichment capability seems absolutely non-negotiable for them.
And there's also that very serious threat hanging out there, them completely withdrawing from the NPT altogether. That would have huge implications globally.
That's right. It's a significant card they've played, a major threat. Iran has explicitly warned the European powers, the E3, that's France, Germany, UK, that it may withdraw from the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty if UN sanctions are reimposed. That would likely happen through the snapback mechanism.
Ah, the snapback. Explain that quickly.
Sure. It's a specific and very contentious provision from the original nuclear deal, the JCPOA. It basically allows any participant state to argue Iran is violating the deal, and if the UN Security Council doesn't pass a new resolution to keep sanctions relief in place, then all the old UN sanctions automatically snap back.
Without needing Russia or China to agree.
Exactly. It bypasses the usual veto politics.
Yeah.
So Iran threatening to leave the NPT if snapback happens is a powerful counter-threat. Now, a deputy foreign minister did clarify this shouldn't be read as a direct step toward building weapons, but it absolutely signals a deepening resolve against international pressure. And leaving the NPT, that would fundamentally damage the entire global non-proliferation regime.
Definitely. But amidst all this tension, this brinkmanship, our sources also mention a very different kind of proposal, almost surprising, coming from Iran's former foreign minister, Javad Zarif.
Yes, a remarkably different approach, almost visionary, you could say.
Yeah.
Former Foreign Minister Zarif proposed something called a Middle East Network for Atomic Research and Advancement, Menara for short. It means lighthouse in Arabic.
Menara, okay.
The idea is a regional body designed specifically to facilitate peaceful nuclear cooperation. And the key is you'll be open to all qualified states in the region, provided they reject the development or deployment of nuclear weapons and commit to mutual verification.
Mutual verification.
Very. The aim is to completely reframe the debate, move away from risk and suspicion towards shared solutions and regional collaboration. Think energy, medicine, agriculture areas where nuclear tech has peaceful uses. Now, Zarif acknowledges the deep mistrust that exists. I mean, that's putting it mildly.
First statement, yeah.
Right. But he argues that a framework like Menara is a necessary step towards disarmament, maybe towards building a more stable regional future. It's just such a stark contrast to the current confrontational dynamics.
It really is a completely different vision. So, okay, let's try and bring all of this together. What does this incredibly complex situation mean for you, the listener? Why should this intricate dance of technology, diplomacy, military action, why should it matter in your broader understanding of the world?
Well, the fundamental takeaway, I think, is that Iran's actions, combined with the international response, have created an incredibly volatile, really unpredictable situation. One source puts it starkly. The nightmare of escalation and its inherent potential to cause proliferation is no longer hypothetical. It is dangerously close to becoming real.
Dangerously close.
Yeah. The rapid enrichment capabilities we talked about, the severe breakdown of oversight, the unsettling impact of those military strikes, and Iran's really firm stance on its nuclear rights, it all contributes to heightened regional instability and a significant global proliferation risk. Not just in the Middle East, it's really a scenario where critical thinking, where understanding multiple perspectives and just recognizing the layers of uncertainty, it's more important than ever for you.
What a deep dive indeed. We've peeled back layers on Iran's rapid nuclear advancements. We've explored the severe challenges to international monitoring, analyzed the impact or the uncertain impact of recent military actions, and we've delved into these complex, often contradictory diplomatic paths being discussed. It's just abundantly clear the stakes are incredibly high for regional security, for global security.
Indeed. The sources, they really lay bare this intricate web. Technical capabilities, deep political grievances, historical mistrust, it all defines this crisis. And the critical question, it just hangs there. Can any diplomatic solution truly bridge this divide? The gap between Iran's perceived right to enrichment and the international community's demand for totally verified, peaceful intent. It's a huge gap right now.
This deep dive just reveals how incredibly fragile that global balance is, and something maybe to consider as you reflect on all we've discussed. Especially thinking about those allegations of intelligence leaks and that missing uranium. In a world where information itself can be so easily weaponized, how might the very possibility of things like leaks, regardless of whether they're true or not, how might that continue to shape, maybe even undermine, the basic foundation of trust, the trust needed for any future nuclear negotiations? It leaves us with a pretty profound thought, I think, about the enduring role of transparency, or maybe the desperate lack of it in this whole pursuit of global security.